From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years. Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Check mic test 1, 2, 3. Okay, all good. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to all the volleyball fans watching us today. This is Quick Set brought to you by Kick and powered by Smart 5G. Ako pa rin, si Danny Nakpil, your courtside reporter today, and we are still live here at the Playtime Phil Oil Center. So we are going to be watching our second game na ngayong araw, but just a little bit of a recap no kanina. The UST made a huge comeback habang tinalo nila ang San Juan de Letran kanina, 3 sets into 1. So ngayon naman, no, for our second game, it's very exciting because NU will be facing EAC, and this is also a match-up with between the NCAA and the UAAP. Pero bago ang lahat ng yan, no, kilalanin natin ang isa pa nating player sa ating segment na in or out. Let's watch this.
It's Alex Razonable, an outside hitter from Emilio Aguinaldo College, Manila. And this is in or out. Morning games out, afternoon games in. Rainy days in, sunny days out. Water in, energy drink out. Playing with makeup on in, playing without makeup on out. Watch a movie in, watch a series out. Training in, working out out. Pagalitan ni coach and pagalitan ni team captain in. Photo in, pancake out. I'm Alex Razonable, and that was in or out.
Ngayon alam natin ang mga preferences ni Alessandra, no? At we will be watching her play ngayong game na ito. Cheer for your teams while enjoying your Shakey's favorites with the Super League meal deal. Now available in 3 types, SSL 1099, SSL Classic, and SSL Gold. And it gets even better. Classic and Gold bundles now come with a Shakey's Super Card for even more perks and discounts. Whether you're courtside or couchside, enjoy the action with the Super League meal deal. And due to the cancellation of games last September 26, here are the updated match schedules for October 3 and 5. Ayan, so we will be having CSB on October 3rd, and we have San Beda versus LPU, Mapua versus Letran. And pwedeng-pwede pa tayong humabol dito sa San Juan. But if you are at home, you can also catch the 2025 Shakey's Super League Preseason Unity Cup on the Puso Pilipinas and our Facebook page. So, hindi na tayo makapaghintay. This is going to be an exciting and an unpredictable matchup actually, no? So again, this is Quick Set brought to you by Kick and powered by Smart 5G.
It's our second match for this Sunday's triple header with the much anticipated return of Vanj Alinsog from the UAAP champions. And of course, our match at hand, it's Emilio Aguinaldo College going up against the reigning Shakey's Super League and UAAP champions in National University. I am still here with you guys. Rhea Ragas joined for the first time again by Julina Lucenio and Danny Nakpil on the court side. Julina, now that Enyo is up in their return here in Shakey's, and of course they're headed by not so new coach in Coach Regine Diego. So what do we expect between these two teams that will battle it out?
Well, as expected from National University, given a lot of changes in their coaching staff all throughout those years, parang hindi naman natitibag yung chemistry nila, and the way they play is always the same. Fierce and a lot of conviction when they play the game.
And speaking of fierce, Jelena, let's take a look at the standings here. Earlier we covered UST going up against Letran, and finally UST now up at seed 1 in that respective pool. But in other pools, we also have SBU and FEU dominating their pool. But of course, with NU and EAC, let's take a look at Pool A.
In Pool A, we have San Beda with 1 win and EAC having 1 loss, and National University, debuting here today, and Lyceum of the Philippine University with yet a game that we are expecting to watch.
And of course, going on the side of the Emilio Aguinaldo College, let's take a look at their previous game against the San Beda University, who in their very first match in this preseason Unity Cup, the Lady Generals battled it out on 5 thrilling sets against SBU.
Like the game we had earlier, this time it is a thrilling game since our contender here came from a 5-set loss from San Beda University, hanging on so tight with a lot of points coming from attacks and those good aces. But then in terms of error, they just scored a lot more than San Beda.
And of course, to our Player in Focus. Our Player in Focus is presented by pusup.com. Join now for free And you know what, Jelena, despite that loss, EAC had a couple of standout players who led the Lady Generals, and that was Angel Joy Perez.
Angel Joy Perez being one of them has led their team with 14 points, all of which came from attacks. And though it wasn't enough to defeat the Lady Red Spikers, this young outside hitter who played at high school level for EAC has a lot to bring here in this game.
And now going to the other side of the court, Jelena, we have the reigning Shakey's Preseason Championship and UAAP defending champions. That is the NU Lady Bulldogs, who will now debut here in the Shakey's Preseason Unity Cup.
Well, as fan favorites, a lot of our viewers already know that they are the UAAP Season 87 champions, defeated number 4 FEU in Final Four 3-2 and defeated number 2 DLSU in finals. And this was their third title in 4 years.
Exactly, Jelena. You can really see, the testament of the lineup of NU here. Although we have key losses here, but we also have key holdovers in the Lady Bulldogs.
With missing in action already, as they have already graduated, is Belen, Pangilinan, Toring, and Solomon. Nonetheless, we have powerhouse hitters coming from the high school division with Sam Cantada, De La Peña. We also have Jacob, and of course, Harleen Cerneche and Dailisan coming in to the collegiate level for National University.
And of course, looking at the team lineup here, we have their new head coach, or I would say not so new head coach in Coach Regine Diego, who also, is the leader for the NU Lady Bulldogs. Kaya nga, it's no new coach, no problem for the Lady Bulldogs.
Well, yes. National University is not foreign to the idea of having a new coach, since Coach Raycarl de Maculangan was their coach in UAAP Season 84 to 85, while Coach Norman Miguel was their head coach in UAAP Season 86. And lately, Coach Sherwin was their coach in UAAP Season 87. Now we have Coach Regine Diego standing up for National University here in our Shakey's Preseason Unity Cup.
But you know what, Jelena, the real question really is for the NU Lady Bulldogs is that can Coach Regine Diego can maintain that success in both the UAAP and here in the SSL. So in just a bit, we will return for our first serve.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Presenting our officials for this match. First referee, Jean Mercado. Second referee, Justin Cruz. Action continues here inside the Playtime Phil Oil Center. This is the Shakey Super League 2025 Preseason Unity Cup. It's match number 12 between the Emilio Aguinaldo College Lady Generals and their challengers across the net, the National University Lady Bulldogs. We kindly request all players of National University to make their way to center court for the photo op.
Now for the NU Lady Bulldogs. We are seeing familiar faces here, although hindi natin makikita the familiar face of Bella Belen. But again, we still have key holdovers in Lams Lamina. Of course, their new team captain in Vange Alinsog. And of course, their not so new coaching staff headed by Coach Regine Diego.
And of course, these girls have been together for so long that kahit mapag bago-bago man yung coach nila, they still have the same chemistry.
Yes.
And of course, they are one of our fan favorites here in Shakey's.
Yes. And we mentioned earlier how Coach Regine Diego has handled the high school of the NU Lady Bulldogs. So you can really see how they were able to get that system here. But for now, let's turn you over to our game venue announcer.
Let us now meet the starters for both teams. First, for the Emilio Aguinaldo College Lady Generals. Let's start with our rule blocker, number 6, Jade Sayako. Opposite hitter, number 7, Cara Dayana. Outside hitter, number 15, Joy Perez. Center, number 16, George Lut. Outside hitter, number 18, Alex Razonable. Middle blocker, number 25, Ashley Toriado. Starting libero, number 4, Karel De Andres. Head coach of the Lady Generals, Mr. Kurt Ong. Calling on the starters of the National University Lady Bulldogs. Let's start with our outside hitter and our team captain at number 6, Vange Alinsug. Opposite hitter, number 8, Pat Salazar. Middle blocker, number 10, Alexa Mata. Center, number 13, Camila Lamina. Middle blocker, number 17, Chang Chamaaya. Outside hitter, number 21, Myrtle Escalar. Starting number 5, Shaya Arjo. Head coach of the Lady Bulldogs, Mr. Jin Diego. It's the Lady Generals versus the Lady Bulldogs. This is the Shaky Super League 2025.
For our starters here for the Emilio Aguinaldo College, we have the familiar faces in Ales Razonable, Angel Perez, Diana, and of course, De Andres as their libero. And again, for the National University,
we have key holdovers, Camila Lamina, Minerva Maaya, Alinsug, and Hardio with their libero. And we're looking at a very exciting matchup right now. We, of course, want to remind our spectators that this is an all-to-play game. So later on, we will see a different set of faces on our second set.
That's true. This set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Live pa rin po tayo dito sa Playtime Phil Oil Center. It's the reigning UAAP champion going up against the rising Emilio Aguinaldo College.
Alexa Mata trying to set the mood for the side of National University with that quick hit coming from the middle.
Lams Lamina on deck to serve. And Lut to the open. Ardio was there. Vange down the line, no go. Off speed. Oh, great save there. Vange will give up a free ball. Lut reverses. Lams Lamina was there. Oh, great rally so far. Oh, it's still alive. Ardio with that first ball. And Long rally alert. Vange Alinsug. It's no go. Lut with that reverse set. Vange Alinsug, another free ball. And Hardio was there. Lams Lamina reverse. And finally, NU scores a point.
Parang ano yun eh, longest breath. Rhea. Ang haba ng rally na yun, and then EAC just trying to give up that point with no coverage at all. Coming from that tip by Patrice Salazar.
Yep. And what a way to start this match, Jalina. NU still in their debut match here in the preseason Unity Cup. Although they played in the Mindanao leg, which they won. But bagong tournament, although hindi bago yung kalaban, pero bago pa rin kahit papano. Of course, they're headed by Coach Regine.
And we were talking about earlier the absence of Bella Belen, Eliza Solomon, Erin Pangilinan, and Sheena Turing. But then we have these young stunners coming from the high school division with MVP Harleen Cerneche, Denise Dailisan, of course middles that also have played before here in our tournament in the college level for University of Batangas, which is Janeline Jacob and Kate De La Peña.
So you can really see ang lalim pa rin ng bench ng NU. But for Lady Generals here, you also have key holdovers in Angel Joy Perez, who actually stood up the most in the recent match against SBU rather. But that time around, that's Alexa Mata, an early activation for her.
Second point for Alexa. You can see that Lamina is trying to distribute the ball well, not just focusing on outside and opposite hitters in this match.
Angeline Sog with a jump serve. Too much muscle on that.
EAC will now take advantage of that missed service by Alin Sog.
You know, Jelena, coming from the NU, the pool of National University, the Lady Bulldogs, you were once a Lady Bulldog yourself. What do you think is the major adjustment that the NU will have to do, knowing na wala na ngayong players in Bella Belen, Eliza Solomon, and of course, they're, you know, the more veterans players, wala na.
I think one of the values that was, instilled in being a Lady Bulldog is that wala kaming star player. Everybody in the team is contributing for us to become a star team. So yun talaga yung iniisip na even in the absence of one, everybody could still perform and do their job well.
And you can really see that in the lineup of NU. You have Vange Alinsug not only scoring of her own, meron din mga attackers, even in the middle attackers, they can also double points.
I guess the question now is, with the absence of those veteran players, what type of mindset and maturity did they leave their team?
So that's something that we are yet to see in this tournament, and of course, hopefully in the coming UAAP. But so far, on the side of Emilio Aguinaldo College naman, it's a little slow start for them here as they could not convert attacks here in set number 1. It's Alexa on deck to serve. Great serve. Lot reverses. And Diana, too much muscle on that cross court.
Diana was trying to get a cross court point. Makikita mo that she really wanted to hit that spot right behind Lamina. But then she just put a lot of power into that hit.
But of course, she's going up against a much taller blocker in Jamjam Aya. So it would be, it was actually a wise move for her to go for that. Unfortunately, nasobrahan nga lang. Lams Lamina on that first ball. Alexa sets. Lut to the open. Evangeline Sug was there.
Myrtle Escanlar says, no Bella Belen, no problem.
And the resemblance of Escanlar and Evangeline Sug in terms of their leap din talaga, Jelena, no? As good activation there for Lams Lamina to Myrtle. Of course, that is our first technical timeout. 8-2 is our score.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Unli projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
You are still tuned in to the 2025 Shaky Super League Preseason Unity Cup. It is going to be an exciting ride for Vange Alinsog of the Lady Bulldogs. She acknowledges that she has big shoes to fill from Bella Belen as the new team captain of the powerhouse team. But instead of getting overwhelmed with the pressure it brings, she sees this as a privilege to step up as a leader. According to her, she wants to take after Bella's remarkable resolve inside the court dahil napakatapang nga naman daw ni Ate Bella. Ray Angelina.
Thank you for that report, Danny. And of course, that's really a huge responsibility of Vange Alinsog to fill that the absence of Bella Belen, not only as a main gunner for NU, but also as a team captain. Aside nga nawala na nga si Bella, nawalan pa sila ng team captain, I would say. So let's see how Vange Alinsog will step up and embrace that role.
Well, in terms of skill-wise naman, they both excel in their different ways. So I think Vanji is a more high leaper compared to Bella, but then Bella is a smart player.
It's Diana on deck to serve for EAC. Stamina goes to Jam Jam and she scores.
Shamaaya delivering from the middle with that be quick.
Another good activation there for Lambs to Jam Maaya. Spat now serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Loot to the open. It's too much muscle there for Angel Joy Perez, or rather Ales Razonable. That error forces the hand of Coach Kirk. Let's listen in.
Alam mo naman, nakuha mo naman yung bola, kaya mo naman palong. Bakit? Wala tayong bawi. Wala tayong bawi. Puro lang salo tayo ng salo. May pasa. Mali, no? May pasa. May depensa. Pero wala tayong attack. Wala tayong bensa. Hindi tayo lumalaban. Haluan natin. Diba? Paano nyo malalaman kung mababla kayo? Yung mga ikwapan.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Well, coming from the words of Coach, parang yung kalaban ng EAC dito, Lady Generals, ay ang sarili nila.
Yes.
Kasi they just end the point with their errors.
Exactly.
And as much as we know they want to score a point against National University, but they're exerting their efforts into a different channel na napapasobrahan yung palo nila.
Well, this could have been a good opportunity for the EAC to go up against the powerhouse in National U. So that's a great call for time there by Coach Kick. But that play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our play, our rules. Download the app now. Pat now serving for the Lady Bulldogs. A great serve. Lut chooses the middle. Angel Perez, it's a no. Oh, that set was too close to the net for Myrtle Escanlar.
Miscommunication between Shamaaya and Myrtle Escanlar. And we're seeing a different front line here for the side of National University. Kasi nga naman before, their front line would consist of either Ara Panique or Alyssa Solomon on the opposite side. But ngayon nakikita natin si Pat Salazar. She's almost as tall as Chamaaya. So we have that disparity in height.
Talk about disparity in height. That's Myrtle Escanlar unfazed.
You can see the approach and the power of that kill.
You know, she's not the tallest of
Yes.
attackers, Jalina, no? In fact, but really, binabawi niya sa kanyang vertical leap.
Yes, and it contributes from her athleticism as well. Same sila ni Alinsug, hindi sila ganun kalaki.
Yes.
Pero pag tumalon sila, mataas.
Oh, great coverage there by Shaira. It's a chance ball. Cardio was there, 1-2 play. It's no go for Lambs. Myrtle was there. Ooh, shank pass for Myrtle Escanlar.
Miscommunication for Shaira and Myrtle on that play.
It's a great system there for EAC to still paluin pa rin, no? Kahit
kasi,
hindi na...
Oo, kasi kanina sinasabi talaga ni coach na paluin mo lang. I think they're overthinking the situation Kaya napapasobrahan minsan yung...
Yep. Talk about overthinking. Jelena, that's another costly error there, courtesy of Toriado after that service error.
Alexa Mata again in front.
Right now, it's Jam Maaya serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Oh, great serve. Lut chooses Razonable. Too much angle there.
EAC still continue on committing errors.
And so far, Jolina, what's really what the NU is doing here in set number 1 is that they're just playing their own game. They're just trying to get that momentum, but unfortunately for EAC, nagbibigay lang sila ng puntos.
And on the side of EAC, I think what they should do is relax lang muna kasi medyo tense sila And you can see naman kanina na compose sila on that play right there. And they did a good job leaving NU with just one blocker and getting that point.
No, that's exactly what Coach Kirk wants to his players. No, to just stick to their system and kung kayang paluin talaga. But another costly error there by EAC. And with that, we are now at our second technical timeout. 16-6 is our score.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Action continues here at the Playtime Phil Oil Center. Ako bumuli si Rhea Ragas alongside Jelena Lucenio and Danny Nakpil on the court side. You are watching the second game of our Sunday triple header. It's an NCAA versus UAAP battle. So may isang match pa po tayo after this.
Serving for the Bulldogs.
Lam serving. Lut with a reverse set.
So good hit coming from Dayanan. Outsmarting Alinsug with that check ball.
And finally, we're seeing plays here for EAC na hindi nila napapakita so far in the early part of set number 1.
Joy Perez serving for the Lady Generals.
Joy Perez now on deck to serve. Oh, a little miscommunication there for the Lady Bulldogs. Fortunately, that's a convenient point for EAC. And this serve of the game is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's.
Miscommunication coming from the side of National University, but good service for the Lady Generals. And the error just keeps on coming from the side of NU.
Back-to-back points now for the EAC.
Which most likely they shouldn't do kasi they're already at the 16-point mark. Kumbaga, kapanan nila yung set eh.
Yes. Great serve. Lams with that bump set. Less razonable, too strong.
But I think there was no touch actually coming from the side of the defender on the side of EAC. There was actually a floor touch prior to the error committed.
Alimen will be substituted in here for Ales Razonable as the latter will get some much needed resting time. Vanch with a jump serve. Loot to Alimen. No go. Oh, rather, and she scores.
Alimen getting that check. Also one of the young stunners from FEU, from the high school division.
Quality minutes there. That's Jade Sayago serving. Lams Lamina.
But Myrtle Escanlar just keeps on bombing the floor. Rhea.
It's as if na hindi bago si Escanlar here, no? As that spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. And when I speak of bago, Jelena, I mean, yung hindi siya bago sa starting lineup ng NU. Kasi of course in the previous games, you have the combination or the duo of Vanch and Bella. But on that time around, so far it's Myrtle and Vanch. Great serve there. Chance ball will be given up. Oh, great fake there by Lams.
Point for Escanlar. That was actually a misreception coming from her. Good thing, pinasukan na ni Lams bago pa may gawin yung EAC kasi they could have tipped over the ball and get the point.
And I like how smart Lams on that attempt actually. Tinas niya lang yung kamay niya kasi yung tendency pwede yun kunin ng blocker. Tapos pag makuha nila yun, there's that tendency na mag-reaching beyond. Kasi Lams was attempting to set that ball, but that time around, it's Dayanan Cara who scores a point for EAC.
Dayanan not being contained by NU on the right side of the net.
Yep.
Kanina pa actually, she did the same thing with her earlier point.
EAC now down by 8. Lams to Jamaya. And she scores.
Jamaya with her second quick attack. No, Cham just trying to develop her skills every time she shows up here in Shakey's.
Of course, that cool play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. Pat Salazar now serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Great float there. Load to the middle. Oh! Little miscommunication there by Pat and Shai. But a good effort for both players.
And I think Dailisan was a little bit late on that defense. And she has been recently substituted with Vanchalin Sog.
So you can really see how Coach Regine is making use of that playing time for the girls coming off the bench.
And again, this is a good training ground for, before they get into their mother leagues and the NCAA and the UAAP.
That's true.
So this is where they see all their flaws, all their mistakes, and all the things that they could improve for them to be able to get to their goal.
Talking about goal, what a way for Lams Lamina to shoot that 1-2 play.
Camila Lamina reigning from Guimaras, still contributing to her team with quality points.
Martil Escanlar now with a jump serve. Shaida Hardio was there. Lams to the reverse. Great rally so far. Chamaya, no go. Stamina. And Ilisan scores.
Delisan scores, but I saw a while ago that the linesman was actually calling for an outside with the ball being transferred from the side of VAC to National University already.
With that, Coach Kirk will call his last time.
Score pero hindi mahirap bumawi. Kailangan lang natin tiyagaan. Gusto nyo score, tiyagaan natin. Ngayon malayo pa yung ito.
Bawi ako! Bawi po ako. Let's go. Happy!
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Sabi ni Coach, kailangan matyaga kayo. You know that NU is not an easy opponent.
Yes.
So you have to put in a lot of effort and yung sipag dapat andun.
Yep.
Na kahit gano'n man katagal yung rally, dapat hindi ka mapapagod.
Exactly. It's an uphill climb now, I would say, for the EAC here in set number 1. But of course, you have key positives here for EAC. You have Joy Perez. Kulang nga lang yung activation sa kanya. So let's see if that's something that EAC could adjust here set number 1. But NU now only needing 2 points to secure this set.
That serve was just too strong. Coming from Myrtle Escanlar with an outside.
Well, but you have to give it to her, Jelena, no? It's really those kinds of serve na parang high risk, high reward. That's Toraido serving. Chamaya to Dailisan. It's no-go for her. Joy Perez. Jam with that 1-2. And she scores.
Samaaya trying to put that ball into place already. Sabi niya, huwag ko na pahirapan si Lamina. Ako na eh. Kaya ko na to.
Andun na siya.
Andito na ako, Lams. Ikalma mo.
Itabi mo, ako na.
Oh.
And just like that, Jelena, NU is now at set point. As Maya serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Ooh!
Nabati ko ata, Rhea eh.
Narinig ka ata.
Oo, narinig ata ako.
Agad naman siya nag-sorry,
Oo.
Jelena. But of course, with a lead like this, I think it's also valid naman na baka mali ka ng ganon.
Masyado siya siguro nang gigil na excite.
No reaction na si Coach Regine Diego doon. Lisan with the first ball, combination play, and she scores!
And this is why I tell you, it doesn't matter na madaming nawala. NU's always ready to grow their players, mold their players into becoming great players in the collegiate level.
And just like that, NU secures set number 1. 25-14 is our score.
With each new decade, a fun new side. Still serving smiles on every plate. 50 great years, let's celebrate. Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on. We still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's creamy spinach pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
team while enjoying your Shakey's favorites with the Super League meal deal. Now available in 3 types: SSL 1099, SSL Classic, and SSL Gold. Whether you're craving pizza, chicken, mojos, or pasta, there's a bundle for every appetite. You also get to support your favorite team because for every order, 50 pesos goes to your chosen SSL participating school. Whether you're courtside or couch side, enjoy the action with the Super League meal deal. Of course, Jelena, in set number 1, we saw how the NU Lady Bulldogs really dominated that set. You know, an activation there by Clams Lamina to her attackers, although the EAC could not get a hold of their groove and momentum in that opening set.
Considering NU actually had a slow start on their end, committing errors as well at the latter part of the first set, but nonetheless, they still showed firepower, and EAC on the other hand also showed a lot of grit during the first set.
Of course, at the end, you really have to give it to the collective effort of NU.
With having 15 attacks for NU and 6 attacks for EAC, having no blocks for both teams and having no aces, but the errors piled up for EAC, having a 2-digit error with 10 and NU having 8 errors.
You can really see how the Lady Bulldogs capitalized on their attacks on that opening set. But here in set number 2, new set of faces courtesy of our all-to-play rule, as this set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. On the floor for EAC, we have AJ Lepiten, Alimen, Valle, Dequila, and Ramos, and Pantoja, courtesy of our all-to-play. And for
the other side, we have NU with Kay Bombita, Abigail Pono, Jeneline Jacob, Denise Dailisan, Rachel Bahamonde, and Celine Marsh. And again, Rhea, this is an all-to-play game, so we get to see different sets of faces when it comes to the first and the second set. And substitution is only allowed on the second technical timeout.
Yes. Of course, that's Adepono there. On deck to serve now for the Lady Bulldogs.
Once teammates before from the high school division, the second set team is no stranger to their presence inside the court.
And of course, we saw how Abe Pono really stood up every time na magwo-1-2 play or mag-2 pag sinasub-in siya.
Yes, yes.
And she's really doing a good job at that. Jump serve. Abe Pono. To Bombita.
Outside call. Hit for Natasha Bombita.
That's too much of a muscle there for Natasha. Of course, we would like to greet a very happy birthday to Miss Aika Ray of Smart Sports, who's watching us live. Happy birthday po, Miss Aika.
Celine Marsh piping from the right side of the court.
Another not so new face for the Lady Bulldogs. That's Celine Marsh. We've known her, in fact, since the high school days, and how she has grown into a Lady Bulldog here in the collegiate level. Great serve there. Coverage was there for EAC.
Natasha Bombita derives the attack from her name.
Yep. And that spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. And ito si Natasha Bombita, Jelena, no? Kahit saan siya, kahit saang side of the net siya pumapalo, you can really rely on her. And again, like we talked about earlier, this is a testament to that lineup of Coach Regine here for the Lady Bulldogs. Ang lalim pa rin eh. Kasi given the fact that this is not the starting lineup of NU, andun pa rin yung parang powerhouse for the Lady Bulldogs.
And Pantoja on the side of EAC. Scoring with that good check ball.
Much needed point there for the EAC. In fact, this is actually a better showing for the Lady Generals compared to set number 1.
Nakita niyo yung down the line, it was open. Given the block of NU was a little bit nasa gitna eh.
Oh! And Jeneline Jacob with that mighty attack from the middle.
Jeneline Jacob, one of the high leapers in the middle area of National University. Also, not a foreign person here in Shakey's, since she also played before for the collegiate division with the University of Batangas.
Abby Pono. Oh, great angle there, but too much muscle for that attack.
The Isan was trying to pocket that hit to the left side corner of the court of EAC.
It's Vallier on deck to serve. Celine Marsh with that overpass. Vallier from the back. Abby Pono will go to Dailisan. No go. EAC to the middle, and she's denied.
Good luck coming from Rochelle Bahamonde in the middle.
No, Bahamonde was already anticipating that attack from the middle.
Yes.
But unfortunately for EAC, there was also that net touch violation committed by Ramos. Great serve for the Lady Bulldogs. Coverage was there for EAC. But Abby Pono winning that joust.
Pono just guarding the net. Head on with that joust.
Yep.
With coming from EAC.
Tinas niya lang yung kamay niya, no?
Binantayan niya talaga eh. She knows that wala nang other way pa.
Natasha Bombita serving. Running attack for EAC. Abby Pono was there. Bombita on that back row. Pantoja will give up a chance ball. Abby Pono chooses Dailisan. And she scores.
That was a good hit by Dailisan considering medyo nauna siya sa pag-set ng bola ni Pono.
And of course, this school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now.
You could see din eh, na nasa likod pa yung bola bago niya paluin.
Yes. Still Natasha Bombita serving. Great float serve. Oh, too short for Pantoja. Celine Marsh. Lisan again. But unfortunately, couldn't get that hands.
Lisan was under the ball this time. And you know, if you're one of the strong hitters, it's really a problem. Kasi pag kahit di mo lakasan, minsan napapalakas yung pagpalo mo ng bola.
Oh, great serve there by Pantoja. Dailisan tries again and is denied. Bombita from the back. Alimen cross court and she... Oops, that's too long.
Too long, and Cipada and Marsh had good communication on that play.
And of course, it's our first technical timeout here in set number 2. 8-5 is our score.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Unli projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now!
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
You are still watching the 2025 Shaky Super League Preseason Unity Cup. Apart from making adjustments in terms of the new coaching system of Coach Kirk, ang pinakamahalaga daw na kailangan gawin ng kanyang team ay ang pagpapataas ng kanilang moral. Coach Kirk told the Lady Generals to not be intimidated kahit sino pa ang kalaban nila. And they really just need to persevere. In fact, he told his team, let us give NU a good fight. Let's stick to the plan and minimize our errors. And it looks like this kind of mindset is working for them, seeing their performance now in the second set. Back to you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Danny. Indeed, a better showing we're seeing so far here for the EAC. And that's exactly what they need right now, no, Angelina? Yung iwasan nila yung errors nila, especially given the fact that the NU is also committing errors of their own. In fact, you made mention earlier, medyo slow start na itong NU. So if that's something that EAC could capitalize, it would be to their advantage sana.
And here in the second set, we could really see na mas mataas yung level of energy nila compared to the first set.
That's true.
And we've seen on the part as well of NU, they've been committing errors dito sa second set with their outside attacks. And again, with another one coming from Celine Marsh.
Celine Marsh immediately apologizing after that, after committing that error. Right now, the EAC will only need 2 points to a deadlock. It's Ramos serving for the Lady Generals. Great serve. Abepono chooses the middle. Oh, too much angle there by Alimen.
But I think I got what she wanted to happen there. She wanted to get a check ball off the hands of Rochelle Bahamonde since Rochelle is tall and then she could easily get through the net with her hands.
Serving for the Bulldogs.
Bahamonde now serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Great serve. Alimen tries again. And good intention there for Alimen. Unfortunately, hindi niya pa rin nakuha yung kamay ng mga blockers on that attack.
She was asking for a check ball pa din, but wala.
Although she was targeting that middle back part of
it seems to be the defensive NU is a little bit up front. Amonde serves. Reverse set. And what a way for the EAC to score a point. Finally stops the bleeding here for the Lady Generals. She saw that Bahamonde was a little bit late coming into the court, coming from the service, and really capitalized on that one. Kaya nakita mo dumapa pa si Bahamonde.
Abepono chooses Jacob on that. EAC will give up a free ball. Abepono combination play and Celine Mars.
Good combination play set up by Abepono and better execution this time by Marsh.
That play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now. Great combination there.
Yeah, and that was a good call. Kasi kanina pa nababasa ng EAC na yung open and opposite hits ng NU eh.
Limen tries again. No go for her. A great rally so far. Alimen cross court. Cepada was there. Abepono to Celine Marsh. Celine Marsh is denied. And EAC would get that point.
Good blocking coming from EAC. And then, ito nga na naman, yung babantayan ng team na kahit isang player lang, it would really make a big difference.
True, and this block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now.
And you could see, natatlo na lang yung lamang ng NU compared to the first set na malaki yung lamang nila.
No, in set number 1, it was, if I'm not mistaken, at around 11-2. So the lead was really huge there. Oh, great defense there by EAC. Back row. Too much muscle there.
Dailisan was just not ready for that setup by Sipada. Though I could hear her calling already Dailisan.
Yep. No, if you're outside hitter, Jelena, kahit na nasa back row ka, what's your role other than the defense? Of course, you also have to anticipate the offense.
You have to be ready all the time.
Pero when do you know na ikaw na yung papalo or ikaw na yung baka sa'yo na ibibigay?
Well, it probably would be pag hindi na gumagana masyado yung front row. But then again, exceptional circumstances like Belen, Alinsog, na kahit nasa likod sila, they still contribute. Yeah, they still contribute well as they contribute sa front line.
That's true. It's as if na hindi sila nawala sa front line.
Yes.
But so far, EAC now on a roll here in set number 2. Our point is, or their point rather, is down by 1. Costly error there.
Service error for the Lady Generals.
Yes.
And their as well as their energy na tumataas na dito in the second set.
Yep.
Mas nakikita mo yung confidence nila sa paglaro. Kanina kasi medyo nahihiya pa sila mag-execute ng plays and even showcase their skills.
Reverse set to Valle. Abipono to the open and denied. Abipono again.
Check ball. Dailisan finally getting a point for the Lady Bulldogs, coming from a couple of errors a while ago.
Smart move there for Dailisan to use the hands of the blockers. Celine Marsh serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Targeting Alimen. EAC will give up a free ball. Bombita. Combination play!
Bombita is ready for that explosion.
Yes. She was waiting for that, Jelena. This school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now.
Makikita mo she was the first one to receive the ball and then she anticipated na sa kanya ibibigay. You're gonna love that confidence coming from Bombita.
Umatras siya agad though after that. Lisan. Pantoja. Bombita again, and she scores.
Good cross-court hit coming from Bombita. And in this set, the percentage of, scoring a point comes from Natasha Bombita.
Yes. The reverse set that was also by Abby Pono. It's our second technical timeout. 16-11 is our score.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Unli projects, plans, play, game. With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app. Choose your number. Activate the eSIM and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
This Shaky Super Fans of the Game is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Ang cute naman, Jelena.
You could really see that they're enjoying their time here watching the game between the Lady Generals and the Lady Bulldogs. And of course, the fun doesn't end there kasi we have a game after this.
Another UAAP NCAA game. But this time, what a time for Pantoja to score a point here using the hands of Bombita on that attack.
Haven't heard much about Perez a while ago, but we have Pantoja here showing well in the second set.
Yes.
And even tying it close to just 1 point advantage for the National University. They're having trouble here now with the reception. And it's one of the things that Dailisan really need to work on since her high school days.
So great back-to-back points there for EAC. Abby Pono set it up to Bombita and targeting that corner pocket.
That was a magic shot kasi akala mo outside na yung bola. Pero pumasok at the very last second.
She was in fact medyo underneath that ball, no? But you can see how crafty Bombita is as a player.
And then you could see naman talaga when she hits the ball, straight yung kamay niya. Hindi bumababa.
Pantoja tries again. Alimen in the back row. Abby Pono chooses Bombita and cross court.
Percentage. Bombita dapat yung pangalan niya ngayong araw eh.
It's really a manifestation of her name, Angelina, no? And I like how Abby Pono continues to set it up to her. But with that Bombita attack, Coach Kirk will force to call for time.
Bakit? Hindi pinalo. Lalapit tayo kung ganyan na mangyayari natin. Lalapit tayo, bibitaw, lalapit, bibitaw. Hindi tayo mananalo. Ngayon, 18 na. Kaya, di ba? Kaya bumawi, di ba? Di ba?
lang natin! EIC! EIC!
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Hearing from that timeout, what coach wants is consistency. Kasi they can't win this game knowing na bawi atras.
Yes.
And then bawi atras sila sa scores.
EAC from the middle. Too low there for Dailisan.
Dailisan is still, trying to feel the groove.
Yep.
Kasi kanina pa, we haven't seen something exceptional come from her. We've already heard from Marsh, Bombita, and even Bahamonde.
Substitution now for the EAC. Diana and their team captain will be serving. And Valia will get her resting time here in set number 2. Great serve. Dailisan. And Abby Pono to Bahamonde.
Good hit by Bahamonde. That was a good setup by Abby Pono. EAC actually least expected it, even if may blockers, medyo buka.
And this spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. Now it's Bombita serving for the Lady Bulldogs. Oh, great serve. Pantoja. Celine Marsh was there. Oh, Dailisan really saw that spot.
Finally, a good point coming from Dailisan, given her errors earlier. And you could see, nakita niya, nasilip niya.
Yes.
So, she tried to play with a wrist action.
Yep. And of course, our all-2-play rule, Jelena, is that pag umabot ng second technical timeout, pwede ka munang i-chip in yung starters mo. But for Coach Regine Diego,
she seems to be comfortable with this setup right here for our second set. Maybe trying to field in these players for them to experience yung mababad talaga before, going into their mother league para hindi na sila kinakabahan.
That's true. And because of that, Coach Kirk will exhaust his last and final timeout. Let's listen in.
Para maano niyo eh. Hindi ako basta-basta nagta-timeout kasi gusto ko bumawi kayo. Kaso ang punto, ang kasang problema, hindi kayo nabawi. No? Alayo pa yung kanina.
Basta mo na ba ito? Enjoy kayo!
Actually, bantayin mo yung net.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Could hear from Coach Kirk na hindi siya basta-basta nagta-timeout. But at this point, I think he needs to do it kasi the girls are looking for some motivation and some instructions for them to be able to play better dito sa second set. Kasi nagawa naman nila kanina eh. Dumikit sila sa score ng NU.
Yes. Dailisan again, powering through.
Dailisan hitting it at the end line of EAC. And she's one of the high leapers of NU.
Yung resemblance niya with Evangeline Sog, Jelena, no? Although hindi sila ganun katangkad na players, but still, nababawi nila sa vertical leap nila. But speaking of bawi, unfortunately, Bombita could not get that point off that serve. That's Pantoja serving for EAC. Another too much powerful serve.
Nagigil niya eh.
Yep.
Gigil siya on that serve. And I think she was trying to target the side wherein Dailisan was standing.
Now then Dailisan serving, and that means Celine Marsh in the front row. Oh, great save there by Abby Pono. A chance ball will be given up. Bombita. 1-2 play by Abby Pono.
Smart play, anticipating that nobody was there kasi they've been doing attacks all throughout the game, and then she just did that pocket right there at the back of the middle.
Silang relax lang ni Abby Pono on that 1-2 play, no?
Sabi niya, 1-1 na kami ni Lams. Kanina siya gumawa, ako naman.
So it's really nice to have that offensive mind that setters. No, Clams Lamina also prone to like that. But of course, it's NU Lady Bulldogs prevailing here in set number 2. And 25-15 is our score. NU up by 2-0.
With each new decade, a fun new side. Still serving smiles on every plate. 50 great years, let's celebrate. Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on. We still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
SSL 1099, SSL Classic, and SSL Gold. Whether you're craving pizza, chicken, mojos, or pasta, there's a bundle for every appetite. You also get to support your favorite team because for every order, 50 pesos goes to your chosen SSL participating school. Whether you're courtside or couch side, enjoy the action with the Super League meal deal. Of course, for our set highlights here in set number 2, Jelena, we saw new set of faces for both teams courtesy of our all-2-play rule. But for the NU Lady Bulldogs, like we mentioned, not so new faces, not so foreign faces, as we have Celine Marsh, Bombita, Dailisan, who's manning the offense for the Lady Bulldogs. And of course, it's Abby Pono orchestrating her sets. And of course, on the side of the EAC, we saw Alimen and Pantoja who teamed up for the EAC on that set.
And it was a good showing from the Lady Generals as well. Kasi they came close to the NU Lady Bulldogs on some parts of the game. And it was also good playmaking as well as makikita din natin dito sa points na they had one service ace against NU, but then their attacks were just kulang pa. So 15 for NU and then 5 for EAC, and then we had 2 blocks for NU and 1 block for EAC. But then the errors tie up together kasi we saw a lot of mishits coming from Dailisa and even Marsh, and a service error from Bombita. But on the side of EAC, just too much sauce coming from some of the players.
And it's set number 3, and this set is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's.
Have a service ace coming from Lamina, one of the strong servers from National University.
Of course, the more veteran setter for Coach Regine.
Dayanan was trying to do a short drop at the back of Alinsog, which I could see would actually work kasi medyo naka-atras si Ardio.
Yes. Fortunately, couldn't get that tip ball over. And now NU up at 2 points. You know, if you're EAC, you wouldn't want a repeat of what happened in set number 1. Jelena, no, especially that NU really dominated that set with at least 12 points yung lamang.
Yeah, and then it actually started almost the same with 4-0, and then nag-error lang yung NU, doon na sila naka-point.
And given, and like you mentioned, NU is actually doing, they're just doing their game, they're just playing their game, whereas for EAC,
they're a little bit tense.
Yes.
And acknowledged ni Coach yun kanina kasi sabi niya, he wants to give NU a good game. And hindi naman imposible manalo eh. They just really need to do what they have been training and execute kung ano yung mga natutunan nila all throughout those sessions.
But talking about their game, that's Vanj Alinsog. Continues to be a threat on the net for the Lady Bulldogs. Lams Lamina now serving for the NU Lady Bulldogs. Reverse set. Oh, lucky shot there for the Lady Bulldogs, courtesy with the help of the net.
Hindi tumama sa kamay ni Patrice Salazar ng solid eh.
Yes.
Dito sa forearm niya tumama yung bola. But then pumasok siya sa side ng EAC. So still a good point.
Yep. Lamina serving. Lut. And finally, Perez scoring using the hands of the blockers.
Then it will be given to the Lady Bulldogs. I think there was a touching on the side of EAC. Yeah.
And with that, Coach Kirk will use an early timeout here in set number 3.
Try, di ba? Ayaw pumalo. Ayaw pumalo. Magkakaroon ka ng pagkakataong pumalo, bibigay pa niya yung likod. Diba? Hindi eh, wala eh. Tapos na naman, sabi ko, wala.
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Well, tama nga naman si Coach. Kailangan tapangan nila pag pumapalo. You just can't give up already na itetip mo na lang yung bola.
Yes.
Though we know sometimes you could score with tips as well. But given that your opponent is NU, pag andyan yung bola sa kanila, babarugin talaga pag gusto nila eh.
Yep.
And on your end, you need to have the same mindset and the same attitude kasi you're all playing the same game.
That attack was too wide for Pat Salazar.
One of the conversions as well that we have seen is Pat Salazar. She used to play middle as well in high school, but now she plays opposite.
And that's something also not new for the Lady Bulldogs, Jelena. No? We also saw how Erin Pangilinan was also converted, if I'm not mistaken, naglaro din siya for both positions in the opposite and the middle. And that play was brought to you by Kick, powered by Smart. Our way, our rules. Download the app now.
Pat just trying to score back the error that she had committed a while ago. And yes, tama ka nga, Erin. I remember it was team captain for high school while she was playing middle. And then at some point of her collegiate career, she got converted into an opposite spiker and then again into a middle blocker.
Yep. But Salazar was denied on that off-speed attack.
Trying to get that one in the side of EAC, but the blockers were ready.
Sayago serving for EAC. A great float serve. A better pass. Celine Marsh, combination play. It's a no-go. Perez will give up a chance ball. Pat Salazar, too low.
Pat Salazar with her third error here on our third set. And you could also see that was a misreception coming from her.
So far,
and nakita
EAC.
din natin kanina, nabasa na yung play ni Celine Marsh na ginawa kanina eh.
Yep.
So I think EAC is in the right path here in our third set.
Shaira Hardio with that first ball. Combination play to Pat. EAC was there. Alas Razonable. And she scores.
Razonable scoring with that good and powerful hit.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now.
Taking advantage na hindi masyado nakapasok yung kamay ni Salazar dun sa net, which was a good sign for her to get that check ball.
Great serve for EAC. Comes Lamina to Celine Marsh. And finally, Celine Marsh scoring.
It was a powerful down-the-line hit coming from Celine Marsh, seeing na walang nagbabantay on the net on that side.
Of course, Celine Marsh for our first technical timeout. 8-4 is our score.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Good eyesight makes perfect moments. For expert eye care, state-of-the-art facilities, affordable eyewear. Go to EO. EO Executive Optical. Love your eyes.
Unli projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
You are still tuned in to the 2025 Shaky Super League Preseason Unity Cup. Despite the Lady Bulldogs being defending champions, Coach Regine still pushes her team to keep learning new tactics. And this game is no different. She said that they are strengthening their attacks, making a point to hit faster and stronger dahil mas tactical na daw ang mga player ngayon. Team Captain Vange also said earlier na pinanood nila ang mga games ng EIC in preparation for today's match and truly did not underestimate their opponent. Rhea, Angelina?
Thanks so much, Danny, for that report. I like how Coach Regine sees this tournaments as something that they could improve on, Jelena, no? Despite the fact na time and time again, the NU Lady Bulldogs has already proven their capability as a team sa mga teams, sa mga various tournaments.
But sometimes, if you're one of the top teams, yung kalaban mo hindi na yung kalaban eh. It's complacency.
Yes.
But you don't think there's room for you to improve. And important note to that is that you should know that the time that you're working on your skills, your opponents are also working on theirs.
That's true. And like what Danny mentioned, naging technical na ang mga laro nowadays. So it's great that our coaches, especially Coach Regine, acknowledges that. Right now, Razonable denied by Cham Maaya.
Good luck coming from Cham Maaya. usually in situations like that, hayaan mo na lang kasi malayo na sa net. But then that was a good call.
That block was brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now. 5-11 is our score here in set number 3. Les razonable. Lams Lamina, 1-2.
O lamang na rin sila Mina kay Pono. Dalawang beses na siya nagdampot ng bola.
This school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now. Great 1-2 play there by Lamina. But Coach Regine Diego will sit her out here in set number 3 with Abby Pono, who will man the offense.
And I think it's important that you give Pono the playing time. Kasi after Lams, after this year, Lams would be finally graduating from the volleyball scene. And since I could recall, she's already a graduate of tourism. And you need Pono to step up here pag umalis na si Lams.
So it's a great exposure now for Abby Pono. Great set there to Celine Marsh.
Good angle coming from Celine Marsh. Kita mo miscommunication there on the side of EAC kung sino magre-receive on their end. Kasi malaki yung space na open.
That's true. And right on cue as she's now on deck to serve is this girl, Celine Marsh. Great serve there. Perez was there. Lut with a 1-2 play.
Campfire in the middle of NU. Walang kumuha eh. They didn't expect that one, right?
Yes. Although we have to give credit on that middle blocker decoy.
Yes. And then nakita mo naman talaga na nag-attempt si Shaira eh.
Yes.
Di lang umabot.
That's Toraido serving for EAC. Abby Pono to Maaya. Asking for a check. It's a no for the Lady Bulldogs.
Maaya asking for a check ball.
Well, that set was too low for her. That's what I love about siya Maaya also, Jelena, no? Kahit na nagkamali siya or kahit na hindi niya gusto yung hindi niya gusto yung atake niya, tuloy pa rin, tapos nakasmile pa rin siya, nakatawa pa rin.
Sabi ni Banji, wala daw talaga, sabi ng referee.
Bawiin na lang daw sa next ano.
Bawi ka na lang, cham.
Of course, EAC will need 5 points to a deadlock here in set number 3. It's Toraido serving. Abby Pono goes to Vangeline Sog and she's denied. Shaira Hardio reverses. Too much angle there for Pat Salazar.
Patrice was a little bit under the ball during that hit.
Yes. But that was a good intention for Shaira Hardio to instead give it to Vangeline Sog. Binigay niya kay Pat.
At least masanay, no? Given that there are a lot of games ahead this tournament. So, mas mabuti na to try things out early on the stage.
What an ace by Ashley Torriado. And of course, 4-0 run here for the EAC.
And that is the second service ace by EAC here in this match. Kanina they had a service ace as well in the first set. And then nakita natin doon yung errors nila, which is double digits na 10.
Torriado again serving. Shaira Hardio was there. Abby Pono with that 1-2 play.
Nag-agawan.
Yes.
Nag-agawan.
Same point na sila ni
Lamina. Sabi na natuto na tayo, Lams.
Very competitive, no? And that's Jang Maaya serving now for the Lady Bulldogs. Great serve. Lut to Perez. Perez was denied. Perez on her second attempt. Pat was there. Evangeline Zog will give up a free ball. Lut chooses the middle. Abby Pono chooses Celine Marsh, and she's denied as Pat will go for an attempt, and she scores.
Salazar scoring from the back row as well, and you can see the potential in this girl.
Yep.
Even if she's not as tall as the previous opposite spikers of NU, she still contributes well. Probably could work more on defense, but she's showing a good performance here in this game.
Substitution now for the EAC. That's Marinel Ramos will sub in for Jade Sayago.
Of course, I also want to greet all our spectators, especially those from SBU College of Law,
Yes.
Juan Barbosa, Dayan Fabicon, and Cecista for watching our games today. Thank you so much.
Supporting our teams here. But of course, San Beda actually had a very good run in their previous game against the Letran Lady Knights.
And good, yun nga sinasabi ko a while ago in our previous game na we could really see the improvement in these teams all throughout the years that we've been holding Shakies. You know, makikita mo yung growth not just as a team but as well as those players.
That's true, and here's our second technical timeout. 16-11 is our score.
From era to era to era, the fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
Only projects, plans, play, game. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Action continues here at Playtime Phil Oil Center here in San Juan City. Again, ako po si Rhea Agas together with Jelina Lucenio alongside Danny Nakpil. And the court side, we are yet to see another game for third game against UAAP versus NCAA match. But that time, it's Pat Salazar finally getting a hold of her points here in set number 3.
With Pat Salazar stepping in, and we haven't heard much from Alinsog. But we shouldn't worry kasi andyan naman si Pat Salazar.
Yeah, that's true.
And Celine Marsh doing her part as well in the defense and in the offense.
And yeah, despite the absence, or not really the absence, yung hindi natin nararamdaman si Vange Alinsog, andun pa rin, ayun nga, si Celine Marsh and Salazar.
And on the side of VAC, kahit di natin masyadong naririnig si Perez, but some of her teammates as well are contributing well.
A great save. Shaira Hardio. Abby Pono to Alexa. Oh, great block there by Vange Alinsog.
That was a good block coming from Alinsog.
This block is brought to you by Peri Peri Charcoal Chicken and Sauce Bar. Order now.
She had to actually take a side step para mas tempohan niya yung bola kapag palo na yun. But from this point of view, I actually thought that ball was going to be not over. Kasi sa strap ng net tumama eh.
Lut with that 1-2 play. Abby Pono chooses Pat. Defense was there. Lut will choose Perez. Shaira Hardio. And Alexa will try. Vange Alinsog too low. Lut chooses the middle. And she scores. That was Ramos.
Good hit coming from Ramos.
And this school play is brought to you by R&B Milk Tea. Order now.
She was expecting to get that ball, you know. Titigan niya talaga yung center niya. Akin na ibigay mo sa akin yung bola. And I love that commitment.
And she was waiting for that.
And hindi nabasa ng NU yun.
Yes. Perez now, the lefty, serving for the Lady Generals. Great serve. And she scores.
Third service ace for the EAC Lady Generals here. NU has been struggling a little bit in their receptions. When you see the stats kanina, no, that they haven't had a service ace on their end. Well, actually one from Natasha Bombita a while ago on the second set.
Oh, it's a costly error there by Perez.
Now we have Vangeline Sug on the service area.
That also means Celine Marsh is up at the front row. Actually, the NU Lady Bulldogs has a full front attackers here in set number 3 in this rally. Abby Pono chooses Marsh. Good save there.
Good team effort coming from the Lady Generals. And you can see, hinabol nila lahat. Hindi nila pinabayaan yung teammate nila.
Unfortunately, that Celine Marsh attack was too strong for the defense of EAC. And right now, NU sits at a very comfortable lead here in set number 3. With Vangeline Zog serving. Familiar jump. Lut reverses. The chance ball will be given up. Abby Pono chooses Alexa.
Third again from Alexa Mata coming from the middle.
This spike is brought to you by Potato Corner, world's best flavored fries. Order now. And with that, Coach Kirk will exhaust his last timeout. Let's listen in.
Ikaw, di ba? Dapat tama ikaw, di ba? Ako ipasok ko. Sa kanila, ikaw yung papasok. Ako, bantayin nila yung... Oo, yung miss nila, bantayin yung... Wala na nga silang malakas sa palo, eh. Puro sabit na nga, natataranta pa kayo. Yeah. Oh. Go, let's go!
That huddle was powered by Kick. Download the app now.
Well, Coach Kirk is still looking for that strong finish coming from EAC, even if they're down by 8 points here in this game. What matters to him is that they gave NU a good fight.
Of course, if you're the Lady Bulldogs, you have to be in your endgame mentality here. Lut will choose Razonable, and she's denied. Perez will do the setup job. Razonable. Abby Pono chooses Pat. No go for Pat. Lut again to Razonable. Vanch was there. Celine Marsh, and she's denied.
Celine Marsh sending that to the outside of the court with a good check ball. And you gotta love how the hit went to the hands of the blocker, but then yun nga lumabas given that power.
Still Vangeline Sog serving. Oh, great serve there. Lut chooses Razonable. Still alive, but finally Razonable scores a point.
Razonable scoring for the EAC Generals and causing commotion on the side of NU. Nagkalituhan dun si Salazar and si Mata kung sino yung kukuha ng bola.
It's a great time for Razonable to finally score a point and stop the bleeding here for the EAC. That's Ramos serving. Shaira Hardio. Abby Pono to Pat. A chance ball. Celine Marsh will give up a tip. Perez to Razonable. Razonable, no go. Abby Pono to Vangeline Sog.
Nagparamdam na si Vangeline Sog. Okay na.
Who has been really quiet in this set,
then,
Janina,
course,
no?
She knows how to introduce herself with that powerful back row attack.
Exactly.
And nobody expected that. Kasi kanina pa, she hasn't been given, you know, quality sets. Kasi dinidistribute ng maayos yung bola so that everybody could get a chance to hit the ball and score a point for NU.
Alexa Mata. Razonable. Cross court. No go. Abby Pono to Celine Marsh. Lut to Perez. Abby Pono chooses Pat. And Pat is unsuccessful on that. Mata will set it up to Salazar.
Good hit from Salazar. Scoring that with a check out. You could see good set din galing kay Alexa Mata. And also really comfortable option actually kasi doon na siya nakaharap. But nonetheless, it was a good point.
And with that, the NU Lady Bulldogs now at match point. It's Alexa serving for the match. A great serve. Perez was there. Lut to Razonable. Coverage was there for EAC. Razonable. And with that, the NU Lady Bulldogs secures this match in 3 straight sets.
And what a way to introduce themselves again back here at the Shakey's preseason Unity Cup with an exciting 3-set win against the EAC Generals. And kudos to the EAC Lady Generals for giving them a good fight, trying to inch closer to the points and just, you know, executing a lot of mindful plays and good decision making.
And with that, the NU Lady Bulldogs continues their mission, the mission on ascent here in the preseason Unity Cup. Of course, you have to give it to their collective effort, Jelena. No? In set number 1, they really dominated that. Nagpatuloy in set number 2, and here in set number 3, although nabanggit natin, hindi natin naramdaman si Vange Alinsog, but we saw numbers from other attackers as well. That's Celine Marsh and Pat Salazar, and also Bombita, who also contributed in set number 2.
And we see how the changes in the team didn't really matter that much to them. And tama nga naman talaga yung tagline natin kanina. New coach, no problem.
That's right. So 25-14 is our score here in set number 3.
With each new decade, a fun new side. Still serving smiles on every plate. 50 great years, let's celebrate. Shakey's fun goes on and on and on, on and on and on. Shakey's got it going on. We still bring the fun.
With decades of great pizza, chicken, and mojos.
Shakey's fun goes on and on.
From era to era to era. The fun goes on. Shakey's 50 years.
The fun goes on at Shakey's.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Shakey's Creamy Spinach Pizza. Creamier.
Creamier, yummier.
Only projects, plans, play, games. With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
(25-14, 25-15, 25-14 is our score. That's NU Lady Bulldogs dominating their debut match here. And of course, for our MVP of the match, this MVP is brought to you by Shakey's. From era to era to era, the fun keeps on rolling. 50 years of fun, family, and pizza at Shakey's. Of course, who is our MVP of the match, Jelena?
You know, we've been talking about earlier the absence of a lot of key players from NU, and we questioned kung sino talaga magsi-step up on their end. And we haven't heard a lot from Alinsog all throughout the game, but this girl just stepped up, scoring 7 points in this game, showing good performance in defense and blocking, and even on the attacks in the service area. We have Pat Salazar from National University.
So let's hear from Pat Salazar. That's Danny. Take it away.
Congratulations on the big win, Pat. No? So it's a very strong outing for NU from start to finish, very powerful and steady. Pero curious lang ako, may iba ba kayong strategies or tactics na tinest out sa game na to?
Actually po, middle po ako. Like, kahapon lang po ako nag-transfer sa opposite. And wala naman pong bago. Like, yung system po namin, same pa rin naman po. And training lang po talaga lagi na like nililinis lang po yung galaw namin. Yun lang po.
And so, dahil doon, no, so nakita na namin yung executions niyo, very seamless also. So, tingin mo, what makes a champion team like NU?
Feel ko po like accepting feedback and communicating with each other and connect lang po sa isa't isa, tas magtatanggap lang po ng mga sinasabi ng ibang kasama para makorek din po. Yun.
Ayan, at dahil ka ang player of the game, sino ang mga gusto mong batiin?
Minamati ko lang po yung family ko sa Iloilo and yung mother ko po nasa Hong Kong. Hello po, ingat na po kayo dyan lagi. Thank you po.
At dahil dyan, meron tayong special gift from Shakey's para sa'yo, Pat. Congratulations once again. Now, let me turn you over to Rhea and back to you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Danny. And of course, congratulations to our MVP of the match. That was Pat Salazar. Now let's check out our Smart Powered Up plays brought to you by Smart's Only 5G. Stay connected for only 85 pesos for 3 days. Load now through the Smart Up. In set number 1, Jelena, we saw, again, not so new faces for both teams. May mga key holdovers for both teams. But it was really the NU Lady Bulldogs that dominated that set. No, we saw how this young girl in Myrtle Escalar, who really was powering through every attack that she was given. Also, we saw Vanj Alinsok, although a little bit silent, but still andin pa rin yung pagiging steady contender niya for the Lady Bulldogs.
So yeah, they had a slow start, but knowing that they are a champion team here in our league. That's why they've given us a good start with 25-14. But then in set number 2, it was a different scenario kasi mas naging energetic itong EAC. And there was no place for NU to be complacent during that time given ang dami nilang errors na ginawa, ang dami din nilang adjustments na ginawa given that they had a different set of players and Abe Pono stepping in as their setters and mostly rookies yung mga naglaro on this set. But nonetheless, it was a quality output in terms of scoring and in terms of skills by the Lady Bulldogs and the EAC Generals.
That's true. Compared to set number 1, Jelena, itong EAC, they showed a better performance here in set number 2. We saw exchange of rallies. Nakikita natin yung mga various deadlocks from both teams here. And 25-15 is our score. But again, going into set number 3, this is where we saw really the dominance of the Lady Bulldogs. In that first part, we saw it was Lams Lamina who orchestrated the offense of the Lady Bulldogs. But on that latter part, she was substituted out and it was Abby Pono who continued to orchestrate the offense of the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of Patrice Salazar in this set and the showing of Marsh. And also, let's not forget about that powerful hit coming from the back row by Banjalin Sog when her team needed her most. And of course, the iconic drop balls of Abe Pono and Camila Lamina. I think it's something that we should tally up all throughout the season of Shakey's Unity Cup.
So really, in the end, it was a collective effort for the NU Lady Bulldogs. And because of that, 25-14 is our score. And that's really how the Lady Bulldogs dominated all the sets here. As we take a look at our statistics in this 3 sets win by the Lady Bulldogs.
Big disparity in terms of attacks here, having 18 points is EAC Lady Generals and 45 big attack points coming from the National University Lady Bulldogs. But then sa blocks, hindi sila magkalayo with 2 from EAC and 4 from the Lady Bulldogs and 3 aces coming from the EAC and just 1 service ace coming from the Lady Bulldogs. In terms of errors, hindi din sila magkalayo, just a 5-point difference, and you having 20 and EAC having 25.
And with that, the NU gets their first win courtesy of their first game here in the Shakey's Preseason Unity Cup. And of course, for our next game, stay tuned. It's the University of the Philippines Fighting Maroons going up against the Mapua Lady Cardinals. Again, ako po si Rhea Raagas with Jelena Lucenio and Danny Nakpil as we will wait and see you on our next game.